Hello, hello, hello.
Hi, hello.
Let me just go ahead, turn off our music a bit, and hello. Well, hello, everyone. My name is Exploring the Galaxy, but you can call me Brandon, and I am here with my amazing co host.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kara, and you can find me at Authentically Kara.
Well, welcome everyone to our first ever edition of Quiz Time Live. I am thrilled to be your host as we explore, pun intended, explore all the magical realms of Disney that we have for you today. Now, this kind of really was started from the daily quiz time that you see over on my stories, and I am so excited to bring this to you as a big event that we are celebrating tonight with 4 different categories. We have so many questions coming at you. But before we kind of get started, I'm going to throw it over to Kara so she can kind of give us some tips and tricks while everyone is going in and joining the My Quiz, making sure everyone is getting set up for that.
Yes, first and foremost, thank you guys so much for being here. We really appreciate it. Brandon and I have done this in years past, and we are so excited to bring it back. My quiz is a little bit different. It's still like a regular. You click the button, you see if you got the answer right. So, just some advice and some tips and tricks for you. Number one, if you're watching us on YouTube, go ahead and go ahead and comment on there. Comment on our Instagram live. I believe Brandon and I are both live right now. So, we would love to see your comments there. And if you are playing with us on the My Quiz, try to get the question right, of course. And then number two, your speed actually does matter. So if you answer the question in 2 seconds, you're going to get more points than if you answer it in 5 or 10 seconds. So still try your best, but speed is of the essence. So yeah, we are so excited to get started. I believe Brandon went off stage here to do a little bit of behind the scenes stuff for us, and we are going to get started soon. So, if you have a beverage with you tonight, go ahead and shout out what you're drinking. For some reason tonight, I'm having Diet Dr. Pepper, and I would love to see what y'all are having with us. It's a shocker I don't have coffee to get me through this evening. But
Yes, and I was just joined by our 2 doggos. So we have Shayla and Thor here with us in the background. But I am sporting our iced tea for tonight, iced tea and some water. But I am here, and we have people in the quiz, and we are going to get started. So we have 4 different categories for you tonight. Okay. Hello, Shayla. Yes. So we are going to dive into 4 captivating themes, starting off with classic Disney movies. We'll jump over to Disney snacks, go into Disney at the Grammys, since we just celebrated the Grammys and we're having the Oscars coming up shortly. So we're celebrating some award-winning music. And then we're going to finish the night off with Walt Disney World. So if you are watching us on the live streams and also participating from your phone on the My Quiz, there is going to be a little bit of a delay. Okay. So there is about a 10-second delay on the YouTube and about 15, 20-ish seconds on the Instagram. So wherever you are joining us, thank you for joining. But if Kara and I are spitting facts and just having our little banter back and forth, and you just need to mute us during the rounds, that's okay. Okay. Come on back during the round breaks, and we will be here with all of the laughter and the fun that we can possibly give. Okay. So Get ready, put your knowledge to the test, unleash that inner childhood memory, and join us for the evening filled of excitement, nostalgia, and some surprises. So let's go ahead and grab those Mickey ears and let's get ready to rumble. So you are going to see on your screen in about 10 seconds the timer start to count down. Get ready because here we where's my mouse? Here we go. So we are starting off with our music category, actually. So we have, what was the first ever Disney movie to get a soundtrack released? We have Snow White, Pinocchio, Steamboat Willie, or Fantasia. And as you can see, your score is truly determined based off of how quick you are signing in. And Living Like You Are Dreaming is locking it in at number one leaderboard right away. So great job. And yes, that answer was Snow White and the Seven Dwarves. Released their first soundtrack in 1937.
All right, so number 2, we're going to talk about this actor who just earned his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and he became accredited with his work of High School Musical. I love how quickly the answers are coming in. I think that Live Like You Are Dreaming is Kelsey, Team Sleeping Beauty, not sure who that is, and Kelly Frazier, top 3 so far. So the rankings are going to go back and forth throughout the night, and we're excited to see who these leaders are.
Absolutely. And seeing Zac Efron earn his Walk of Fame was absolutely amazing. He accredited his entire speech to, his pal Kenny Ortega and really just his High School Musical journey. So I am just obsessed, truly obsessed. And our next one is getting into Walt Disney. Which one did not win an Academy Award for its music? Now, it may have been nominated. It may have been nominated for a couple different things, but we're talking about music here. This 12 questions is talking about music. And yes, it was actually Cinderella. Cinderella was not nominated. Dumbo was 1940, Aladdin 1993, 94 Lion King, but Cinderella got squat from it. Now you have to remember the Blue Fairies song, everyone. Of course they won that award for their music. And now Monsters Inc. taking it over to Monsters Inc. Who originally sang If I Didn't Have You? I Didn't Have You. This won the Academy Award for Best Original Song, and that goes to the one and only Randy Newman.
I definitely would have got this wrong. We all know, like, I do not know celebrities. I do not know people's names. That is so not my thing. So if you guys got it right, which is according to this, 76% of you, congrats, because I would have gotten it wrong.
Absolutely. And a Team Sleeping Beauty is, in fact, my sister. So shout out to Amanda. Congratulations, Amanda. Team Sleeping Beauty is coming to you with 25. Again, it is a super close race. So let's not knock it because, knock on wood, because it will change back and forth. There are some strengths, there are some weaknesses, but we got this. And I believe this next one is the only song to win full out Grammy, full out big Grammy of the year, and that is A Whole New World from Aladdin. Alan Menken won this. He made history, also being a musical theater composer and a Disney composer, to win Grammy of the year for Best Original Song. Absolutely. Outside of the music category, just flat out. Chef kiss.
We know that Pocahontas is like so underrated because
true.
This is where Colors of the Wind came from. And I hope you guys were on delay because I just looked at the picture because I don't read.
Yes, Colors of the Wind is from Pocahontas, but we got 100. Absolutely. And again, it's truly another Alan Menken and Stephen Schwartz, like, amazing pairing. And again, another Grammy winner for Best Song Written for a Movie. Now, this one is definitely an all-time favorite. You will see this saying on every single Disney dad shirt when you walk through the parks. Go to Animal Kingdom, you see a dad, he's wearing the shirt. It says Hakuna Matata, and that's because it means no worries, and it actually means no worries in Swahili, and it is the personal anthem of Timon, Pumbaa, and Simba.
Like
I love.
What were you saying?
Huh? I was saying I just love all of these 100%
Oh,
answers.
I'm talking about the must see, the red shirt from Kohl's, Hakuna Matata Disney Dad
Well,
shirt.
Target. Don't forget it. Don't drop on our Target. Target.
Pretty sure it's cheaper over at the Kohl's.
Now, When She Loved Me is featured in which film? Now, this song was written by Randy Newman and performed by the one and only ballad Canadian goddess herself, Sarah McLachlan. It was performed during Toy Story 2. It is the song that makes me cry every single time I think of it, I picture it, I hear it, because it is her Emily and Jesse's, separation. So sad. Take this one.
All right, so we are talking about which of the Disney movies, which is this featured in? Is it Under the Sea, Let It Go, Almost There, or A Whole New World? And if y'all get it wrong, please don't. Please don't disrespect my girl like that. This is going to
Again,
Princess Tiana.
Princess Tiana having Almost There. And this one was also like another super one of my favorite, fun facts. I mean, anyone who knows me knows that I love Alan Menken. Alan Menken is the composer of my life. I love him in everything that he has ever written and ever done. Princess and the Frog was originally an Alan Menken movie, composed music-wise, but then it actually switched over to Randy Newman because Alan Menken was working on too many Disney movies at the time. He was writing Enchanted at the same time Princess and the Frog was going up. So Randy Newman is the first Pixar composer to come on over to the Disney universe.
Everyone got Moana there. And I just want to take some time to give a little leaderboard update here.
Yes.
We have Kelly making her way with 56 points at the top. Amanda, Team Sleeping Beauty in second, and Jenny has made the podium at third place. Now I'm missing Margarita Kate. Whoever Kate went, got to get those scores up.
And again, sometimes it takes you a little bit because sometimes you're listening to our ramble and our babble over here on the live, and I appreciate it. But if you have to focus and just read what's in front of you, I totally get it as well. So don't you worry.
Trying to distract you? You may never
now this next one has two answers. There is going to be two answer choices on this next one. Lin-Manuel Miranda won Best Song Written for Visual Media for which two animated Disney movies? Now, I was stumped in my own research on this question as well. I thought it was just Encanto, but he did actually win for Moana as well. So you have Moana and Encanto coming to you for your correct answers for this one. So we are at our first round break. So you are going to hit whatever the A answer is to earn points for our round break. And then we're going to, take a quick bio break, take a sip of whatever your beverage is, throw in the chat. We'll do a leaderboard update, but make sure you go and hit A, yum, get ready, and we shall take a look at the leaderboard.
And a look at my pins because they're right here. So this pin, because we're going to talk about snacks, this is the Chef Mickey pin that I got at Disneyland. Listen, I'm here for the vibes. We're about to talk about food. We got to talk about my Chef Mickey pin.
That's fine. I'm all here for it.
You can talk about the leaderboard. Continue.
No, we have our bio break. Let's talk about some snacks. First, go to Dream Snack from Disney.
Dream snack.
Not dream snack. Like, what snack do you dream about? Because it's just that good.
Hopefully, y'all are putting some stuff in the comments here. This is a meal. But all meals are snacks. To me, snacks are meals. They're interchangeable. And the only correct answer is tachos. And I will be taking no other answers for snacks. But you guys can put them in the comments. I'd love to know. But that is yours. Brandon will probably say Mickey Pretzel.
I will, of course, say Mickey Pretzel because Mickey Pretzels with cheese or a chocolate drizzle or literally anything. And the only appropriate place to get a Mickey Pretzel is in Tomorrowland.
Absolutely.
It's the only appropriate place. And yes, Of course, we have the cheeseburger spring rolls that were just now, brought into the public eye by the one and only Jason Kelsey, because he just went and celebrated. I did see that on Kate's stories today, so thanks for that.
No, it was Andrea. I think
Andrea's story.
Andrea posted about podcasts, I believe.
Yes.
And Kelly, absolutely yes. Moonshine sour or any drink is considered a snack.
Ooh.
I hate it has blackberries.
Now, because we have the Disney dining plan back out, I think it's the perfect time to talk about this next category, because snacks galore is all over this. We have 12 different clues and questions all about snacks. So if you're planning that next Disney trip and you have that Disney dining plan because you have Disney Plus, hey, this is your perfect chance to study up on some snacks and know where to locate them in the Disney parks.
Yes, because as we know, ending on February 14th, if you are a Disney Plus subscriber, the discount is actually going away. So you want to make sure to put down that refundable $200 deposit before the 14th so you can get free dining on your summer vacation. And this weekend, I will actually be dropping a freebie. This is exclusive for you guys to know. It is the 10 snacks to try at Disney World this summer. So stay tuned for that. But we are down to our last couple of seconds. Here we go with the Disney snacks category.
And first, starting off, there's an iconic treat: vanilla ice cream, thick chocolate, shaped like a Mickey head. What is it called?
Dun, dun, dun.
And yes, that's right. It's the premium ice cream bar.
I'm assuming a lot of people just saw Mickey Pretzel and hit it. I'm waiting for this to be like real big, because that's what I would have done. Oh no, y'all actually read. Okay, it's just me.
We actually got some brains. Then coming up with our next one is we actually are talking about the one and only Disney Dole Whip. This is first ever created for Magic Kingdom. And that is because it was made by Dole and it is made out of the pineapple.
And you have not visited Adventureland if you haven't stopped at Aloha Isle and mobile ordered yourself a Dole Whip, and especially a Dole Whip float on those very, very hot days. That's what I would suggest.
Now, in Disneyland, you can get so many other different flavors. I think last time we went, we got like a watermelon flavor. I think it was to die for. But vanilla twist, so superior, truly.
And like those flavors, they also have a lot of flavors of churros. So Disney World, is it Disney Animal Kingdom? Is it Disneyland, Disney Tokyo? Where are we talking about the churros? And I know one person on here playing definitely knows the answer because she did 100 snacks on her Disneyland vacation, Emily Machado. Yes, I know she definitely got that right. Oh, Animal Kingdom. They got a lot of votes too.
But I think this one really came from because the snacks behind the attraction on Disney Plus really highlighted how Disneyland really has like all of like their churro kitchens and really test tasting. So that's also a little plug. If Disney ever wants to sponsor us, please let me know. But behind the attractions in Disney Plus, their snack episode, truly amazing. And yes, you can find the turkey leg in a couple of different places around Disney World in Orlando, Florida. But in talking about Epcot, you can only find it in the one and only most unhealthiest country in America, America. But next we have, which snack is not traditionally shaped like a Mickey pretzel? Now, I was having a very hard time trying to find an image to go with this question, even just trying to find the correct answer. Because if you are in Disney World, if you're in this bubble, you are possibly eating a Mickey-shaped something. I think it is, I think you can't go anywhere without finding something Mickey-shaped.
Yes. And I will say that churros is the correct answer. It was so hard for me to say churros because technically you can get like churro Mickey shaped waffles at Crystal Palace when you have breakfast there.
But that's Mickey waffles. If it's cinnamon sprinkled on top, that's one thing. But you literally just said Mickey
The
waffles.
technicalities, the technicalities. It was hard for me to say churros, but I know that's the correct answer.
And yes, but what about going over to Port Orleans French Quarter to pick up the one and only beignets?
Yes, but you don't need to go over to Port Orleans right now because during the Celebrate Soulfully celebration, they actually have them at Magic Kingdom. So if you are going to Disney in February during Black History Month, go to Magic Kingdom, go to the Golden Outpost in Adventureland and grab yourself some of those piping hot beignets.
Now, this next question actually comes from a poll that was done actually on All Ears Net. Kara and I are, really into, watching a lot of Disney vloggers and Disney YouTubers. And All Ears Net had a poll of snacks, and their best smelling snack is, of course, the one and only the popcorn. The popcorn in Disney World. You smell the aroma of the popcorn and you are instantly transported and just want to buy 10 buckets, 10 popcorn buckets worth of the popcorn. Kara, take this one away.
So we are going to talk about where you can find this very famous kitchen sink sundae. Is it at Jelly Rolls? Is it at Artist Palace, Captain Cook's, or Beaches and Cream? And if you are familiar with those Epcot resorts where you can just walk right over to Epcot, you know that there is a special walk-up stand where you could get ice cream, but to get an actual reservation here, it is at Beaches and Cream at the Beach Club Resort. It is literally a kitchen sink. They throw a bunch of ice cream in there, a whole can of whipped cream, all the toppings and everything else. So if you are a big ice cream lover, this would be the place to go.
Now, there are a couple different places to get the cinnamon rolls in Disney World, but there is one place that is truly iconic for the cinnamon rolls, and that is at Gaston's. Gaston cinnamon roll over in, is it technically New Fantasyland?
Yes, but it's just Fantasyland nonetheless.
Yeah, and it has one topping that is superior to all, and that is the icing. Any tips for that, KJ?
I mean, we're just going to make sure to definitely get an extra cup of icing. Right, as of right now, they still give it to you for free. And when you get down there, when you're digging through your Gaston cinnamon roll, towards the end, you have no icing left. So if you have that little extra, it kind of helps you along the way.
And what would you, there's also something else. I can't remember the name of it. Something else from Gaston's Tavern.
LeFou's Brew.
Yes.
Yes.
And
if you want to go ahead and
that ranking.
Huh?
Give us that ranking. How would you rate LeFou's Brew?
Honestly, I would rank it a 6 out of 10. It is pretty tart for my liking. I like everything pretty sweet on the very, very sweet side. So it's not my absolute favorite, but people do like it. And it's really refreshing on a hot day. So
now this next one comes with a little bit of back and forth between me and Kara here. In the Star Wars universe, what iconic beverage is seen being consumed in Galaxy's Edge? Now, of course, the answer is blue milk. C, blue milk. It comes in blue, comes in green. It's delicious. It's amazing. Alcoholic, non-alcoholic, get it. But technically, if we want to be super technical right now, in episode 4...
Yeah, see, you can't even be technical. It's blue.
No. In episode 4, Luke is seen drinking blue milk, and that's where the blue comes from. And it is from a bantha. That is the literal animal that it is from, because milk comes from animals. That is what it is from. So my answer choice was bantha, and it was bantha milk because that's what it is. And then, of course, the banter went back and forth, and I changed it so I didn't confuse anyone. Whoa. But that's all I have to say about that. And yes, the Tonga toast is, of course, the amazing the French toast.
That was such an accent. Yeah, it is found at the Polynesian resort with the French accent that you just gave us. I really appreciate that.
But tell us about Captain Cook's. Best friend.
So it is a quick service option right there at the bottom floor of the Polynesian. It's a great opportunity to, again, mobile order some food. It's Tonga toast generally comes with bacon if you want to add a drink to that. And in my experience, it was very shareable. So if you want a nice little filling breakfast, if you know you may not have anything till lunch or just want to try something new, or again, like a sweet bread like myself, I like trying all the breads around property. Kind of a carbs girly, but it's a great way to try that.
So we are on our second short little 3-minute break. Our next category is going to be classic Disney movies. Now, we're not talking about anything before 1980s. I don't think.
After.
I think everything in these next 12 questions are all classic Disney movies. Okay. But let's take a look at the leaderboard, see how we're doing. And we have, drum roll please, we have a tie for first place. And that tie for first place is with Jenny and Team Sleeping Beauty with 144 points. And now in third place, we have Andrea with 132 and Margarita Kate fourth, 128. So again, how fast you are able to click these answers, how fast you're able to quickly skim and read is how you are accumulating all of these totals.
And since movies is our next category, in the chat, go ahead and write down what is your all-time favorite Disney movie, if you have a favorite. If you need to choose two, I understand. But what is your favorite Disney movie? Go ahead and write that in the chat if you are joining us here on YouTube.
Favorite Disney movie? Now, are we talking about things that have been acquired?
You know, I'm not one for the technicalities. Just Disney movie.
Well, okay. Well, then there's also a couple of there's a couple of different categories then too, because then are we talking about Disney, short films? Are we talking about full animated features? Because then we're starting from Snow White on. But if we really want to get technical, that's just that's my technicality. But we do have some Disney Channel in the chat. We have Mulan being a childhood favorite and the Cheetah Girls franchise. Cheetah Girls being a original DCOM, Disney Channel original movie, along with the High School Musical series, Lemonade Mouth, the villain kids. Descendants, the Descendants franchise is also from the Disney Channel, which actually is starting to get some Hollywood studio representation. You have the Disney Junior areas over in the Hollywood studios. But yes, we are going into our next category, starting off with which is not one of the seven dwarves. There's 7 of them. And they have changed over many different times. There was originally a list of 75 different names that these dwarves have been called, but they settled on the 7, and Jumpy is obviously not one of the 7 dwarves.
We watched that documentary. I really forget which one it is. At this point, I've watched so many, but it mentioned how Walt... Excuse me?
It was the 2020 special that they did on Disney 100.
Yes. So it mentioned how Walt wrote down all of these different similar characteristics that he wanted the dwarfs to be. So I just thought that was really cool how they got their names.
And now this one, you could also, some people can, kind of get upset in the comments about which is the main Cinderella animal companion. Now, of course, I think it's Gus, Gus, and Jacques, Jack and Gus, Gus. But because I do see a Bruno being listed there, Bruno is the dog's name from, right?
Yes, Bruno is the dog from Cinderella. So I would argue to say that that is her main companion, although he's not mentioned that much in the movie. So a lot of people would say Gus Gus or Jack.
Yeah. But of course, now moving on, we have who is Captain Hook's sidekick? And now technically, if we really want to get technical, because we're all about technicalities, apparently, if we really want to get technical, Mr. Smee is actually not technically anything. He was originally a chef in the original Peter Pan, fairy tale. Then he became a first mate. And so, I mean, if we talk about villain sidekicks, then Mr. Smee would obviously be that for Captain Hook. But he actually has no ranking on Captain Hook's ship, which I think is kind of funny. But moving on, kind of bringing it back to music just to talk about the one and only Sir Elton John, getting the music originally for The Lion King. Elton John winning the Academy Award and the Grammy, and then following also getting the Grammy for solo male performance of a song during the 1994 Academy Awards.
The awards, darling, the awards.
And now asking, of course, who is the main antagonist in Beauty and the Beast? Antagonist. Antagonist is just the more fancy term for the word villain. Who is the villain?
Cogsworth. Obviously.
Cogsworth? Why do you think that?
I mean, he just gives the most sass. That is my choice. While I know it's Gaston, my answer is Cogsworth.
Of course. Moving on to the next. Now, make sure you're reading this question right. What is the name of Aladdin's loyal and magical companion?
Again, this is a question that Brandon and I fought over.
For like a good 2 minutes, mind you. And again, reading is what?
Not necessary.
It's fundamental. And it's because I say magical. Abu is not a magical creature. So, of course, it is going to be the genie. The genie is your only option here.
Kelly, I understand. I know it's the genie. I would argue to say it's Abu, but it's fine. It's fine. This is Brandon's game. I get it.
Huh? But then who? So we all talk about Disney coming from fairy tales, right? But who actually authored the original Little Mermaid? Now, not J.K. Rowling, not William Shakespeare, not Ronald Dahl. Of course, it is the Hans Christian Andersen. A lot of Disney is taken from Hans Christian Andersen. So you have things like The Ugly Duckling, you have The Snow Queen, where Frozen comes from, Princess and the Pea, The Little Mermaid. But then, of course, you have the Grimm's brothers as well, who has some of the more other gruesome fairy tales like Cinderella. But I digress, and moving on to the one and only, the Sleeping Beauty. Who wakes Briar Rose from her slumber? And that is the one and only, the Prince Philip. Prince Philip. And that we do see Team Sleeping Beauty taking the lead with 193, coming into number 1 place. And I'll let Kara take this next one, shall she?
Because it's because it's one of my favorite characters. So Bambi's friend Thumper is this one. Without giving you the correct answer, guys, I've always just loved Thumper. Let's just leave me alone. And yeah, the correct answer is he's a rabbit. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good day.
And I am so upset because so Kara and I are on a slow, series called Watch Everything That Tom Hanks has ever done. And Tom Hanks, who plays Geppetto in the live action Pinocchio, and Cynthia Erivo comes in as the Blue Fairy and gives this wonderful speech that Kara and I both looked at each other and were like, I don't think I've ever noticed or known what was the promise that Pinocchio had to make to the Blue Fairy, and that is to be loyal.
Yeah, please, the monologue, please. I would love.
I literally, to be loyal, truthful, and unselfish, I believe it was. But we looked at each other and we're like, I would not have remembered that. But yes, no. Pinocchio, if he tells lies, his nose grows. And then the one and only Mr. Baloo from the Jungle Book sings the bare necessities.
Simple bare necessities.
And now our next question takes us to the world of Sorcerer Mickey, where we get the wonderful entertainment that is now back at Disney's Hollywood Studios, and that is over. Is it still over at Disneyland?
Yeah, it doesn't. It's coming back in May, I think.
Okay. But of course, Sorcerer Mickey comes in the park show in Fantasmic, and then of course Fantasia being where it comes in the cinematic world. And of course, that leads us to our next round break. So go ahead, hit A. You are ready to take on our next theme of Walt Disney World. And shall we take a look at the leaderboard, Miss Kara Jones?
Of course. So far, in first place is Team Sleeping Beauty. Amanda coming in hot at 215 points. Then at 202 is Jenny. And third is Andrea at 209. Jenny had. Well, all the things just changed, but it's still Amanda, Jenny, and then Andrea. So congrats, guys.
Perfect. So, again, we have our last break. We are just going into our next 12 questions and our final 12 questions. And let me kind of give you a little update on where we're living in these 12 questions. We have a little bit of everything. Okay. Now, I know we have a lot of our, travel agent family with us today.
Shout out to Banana.
Shout out to Banana. We love you.
Bananas in the comments.
And if you have been following along with Disney, if you have been following along with Quiz Time on my stories over the last week, I have taken us through every single section of Magic Kingdom. But unfortunately, Magic Kingdom only has 2 answers. 2 questions in this next round. We are exploring Animal Kingdom, Epcot, Disney Springs, and Hollywood Studios. Okay, so there is a couple of different areas that we are going to explore.
And I would love to know in the comments, just our break time comment session, can you guys comment your favorite land? Not necessarily your favorite park, because I would argue that Epcot is my favorite park, but Tomorrowland is my favorite land. It's very close with World Showcase, though. Very close. So if you guys have a favorite, I'd love to know your favorite land in the park. If you're not familiar with the parks as much, then put your favorite park. But what is your favorite land? And thank you, Jenny. We again, Brandon and I have done this in the past, and we are so glad to be bringing it back to you guys. Galaxy's Edge. Haven't heard of it. I don't quite know. What's that one? Is that the one with Jar Jar? If so, then I understand.
Kara has this weird fascination with Jar Jar Binks for some reason.
Underrated character. You guys need to understand.
Oh, because me so good. Yeah, cool. But yes, I mean, for me personally, it's Tomorrowland. I know we have 20 seconds away from going into the next round, so I am going to kind of adjust our screen. But we have Toy Story Land, Adventureland, most immersive being Galaxy's Edge. You are all so right. I mean, if you listed a Disney place, Chef
You're right.
Kiss. You're just right, of course. But going into our next round, starting off with the one and only Pirates of the Caribbean attraction. Okay, there is a girl. There is a girl pirate in the auction section of the attraction who happens to be wearing, yes, that color red that you see in the picture. What is her name? What is her name? And yes,
if you guys didn't know, I didn't know either, but the color is a giveaway.
The color is a giveaway. But I think I only learned this based off of the behind the attraction pirates when we discovered it was red.
Which I think we're behind the attractions now that I think about it. I think we have 2 episodes left. We need to finish.
No, we finished with snacks. The last one was snacks. Anyway, in the Hollywood Studios, there is a coaster in Andy's backyard that is made up of a toy's springing coils. What is that ride called? And yes, of course, it is Slinky Dog Dash. Best friend, do you have a tip for us?
Riding Slinky during an after hours event is going to be my all-time favorite tip for this ride for this park. If you can go to Hollywood Studios after hours and you specifically want to go on rides, I would highly suggest reaching out to one of us about tickets for after hours events so you can ride these rides like Slinky and Tower of Terror and everything else with much, much lower wait times.
Great. I mean, I think that's a really great advice, because I remember almost waiting 3 hours to do Slinky Dog Dash, and I don't think it was worth that hype. But I think if I had a more enjoyable wait time, so that's such a great tip. And yes, of course, we just answered, where is World of Disney? World of Disney in Orlando, Florida, is located in Disney Springs. And yes, they are what's the word? They're increasing their technology usage across all the parks, really, and really emphasizing mobile checkout.
Yes. And this death contraption that they have over in Animal Kingdom is not my beloved Space Mountain. It is the one with the Yeti that I will not go on because it goes backwards and I have terrible motion sickness. But it is Expedition Everest. So glad you guys got that right. Yes, it's Everest. I do believe they have a basketball court at the top. I've seen proof. And if you guys like it, that's really good. It's just not for your girl. I rode this one time and got very, very sick, and I cannot do it again. But this next ride I absolutely love, even though I am not a Star Wars fan, but I am a Jar Jar fan. Rise of the Resistance is where you battle against the First Order. So who are you joining in this battle?
And if the name of the attraction isn't kind of obvious, of course you are you are joining the resistance against the First Order, hence Rise of the Resistance. But moving on, this also again caused a very heated argument between me and Kara yesterday. What is the theme of the iconic attraction Spaceship Earth? And yes, Kara, yes, I admit that you were correct.
Oh, that's now recorded. That is now, we have that live and recorded.
You provided the evidence, and I changed the answer to the appropriate one. But does Spaceship Earth explore ancient civilizations, history of communication, outer space, or through time? And as everyone just answered, the history of communication. I thought it was just the journey through time. That's what I thought.
And I'm so
passionate. And Kara got specific. So
I'm very passionate about this because my master's degree is actually in strategic communications. And so when I went back to Disney and actually took in everything that had to do with Spaceship Earth and the creation of the papyrus to the writing to the hieroglyphics and everything else, it was just so amazing to see how communication started with that. And now we are talking to you live on my quiz streamed on YouTube with the Instagram. It's just super cool. So I love the evolution of it. I love it all.
So just going over the reserve that is actually at Disney's Animal Kingdom, the Harambe Wildlife Reserve, where all of the animals get treated, all their veterinary services and all of that at the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. And yes, we are now moving on to Soarin', which is, I believe, still Kara is one of top 3 favorite attractions. Is that still true?
Yes.
Is it top 1 or is it just in the top 3?
No, Space Mountain will always be 1. Soarin' is definitely top 3 though.
Okay. But yes, Soarin' does go over all of the most famous landmarks across the globe, the Taj Mahal, Eiffel Tower, and the Great Wall of China. And use that 5th sense, you definitely get a whiff of a lot of those places. I really think the elephants and smelling the grass is probably one of my favorite scents, and I do not know why, but it is what it is. But on Flight of Passage, what do you experience? You experience a roller coaster, sailing on a boat, flying on the back of the Banshee, Sirako, or driving a race car.
Sirako! Sirako. If you know what that means, you've been to the world of Pandora. Just go to Animal Kingdom, go to Pandora and start screaming that.
I forget what we were doing recently, but like we looked at each other and we just starting Sivako. Anyway, moving on. So a train ride through the Enchanted Forest is found in Magic Kingdom Park. and it is found on the Seven Dwarves Mine Train.
And it is found to have still way too high of a wait time. This ride is, I want to put this out there, 10 years old, and it still has a 2 to 3 hour wait time, which I think is absolutely ridiculous,
Yeah.
even with the implementation of Tron. Still too high. Love the ride.
And it's also the simple fact that it still is on lightning, an individual lightning lane.
Yeah, Disney needs to calm down with all that.
Like, I just what?
I said what I do love is their mode of transportation.
True. And that takes us from Disney Springs. Where can you travel and how can you travel in Disney Springs? And that is all of the above. By boat, bus, or by walking. Where can you walk to, Kara?
My home resort, my Disney Vacation Club home resort of Saratoga Springs.
Yes, and that is our final question. So, I have to see what this is saying. But let's take a look at the leaderboard. The leaderboard, we have in first place Team Sleeping Beauty with 277 points. And if you look at this little statistics, 4 minutes and 40 seconds. That is, I don't get that. I don't know what that time column is, but I thought that was impressive. But then I saw Jenny's of 4 minutes and 12 seconds.
Yes.
I don't know.
Jenny could have answered one question wrong. 2, Amanda's correct. So the math is mathing. Just let it go.
Math is mathing. But we have a top 3 of Team Sleeping Beauty, Jenny and Andrea, yes, for 277, 264, and 262. Well, that is a wrap, I believe is what the kids call them, right? It's a wrap.
The youngsters these days.
But I with that, I just want to extend a real heartfelt thank you to everyone who joined us tonight, who commented in the chat, who was on the Instagram live, who was on the YouTube live. But thank you for joining us on this wonderful quiz time exploration. But fear not, we have our adventure, and it does not stop here. Be sure you are subscribing to our channel. We are coming to you live. It is going to be a more frequent event. It's not going to be a weekly event, so you do have some time to study. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok. Stay updated on all things Disney. To discover more tips and tricks and insider secrets, you can follow me on Exploring the Galaxy with 2 Y's, which is up in the top corner. And you can follow Kara at
Authentically Kara on all major social platforms.
And please remember to check my stories over at Exploring the Galaxy for your daily Disney challenge, where this all came from, quiz time. Remember,
and don't forget to share this with a friend so they can join us next time.
And remember, the magic of Disney has no bounds. With your continued support, we can keep this spirit alive and bring it to you soon. But until next time, keep dreaming, keep believing, and may your days be filled with a little extra pixie dust and happily ever afters. See you real soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Balloons. Where's my
all balloons all the time? I don't get it.
Because it's hand gestures. It's technology.
Oh, peace.
Bye.